Today I'm going to be doing my fall houseplant collection tour. The soil video was supposed to go up today. There was a little glitch with one of my clips, so I have to refilm that. So the soil video, which I know a lot of you have been waiting for, will go up on Tuesday. I know it's not technically fall yet, but I'm super pumped to do this video because my collection has changed a lot. My setup has changed a lot, so I'm excited to show you the changes. The biggest change, I guess, is I've rearranged my house, but then second to that is I have been getting rid of quite a few plants, so you may notice my collection looks a bit smaller. I'm not getting rid of all my plants. I think I'm about done with the minimizing my plant collection. The plants I've mostly gotten rid of are ones that just kind of stressed me out care-wise. If I looked at a plant and I didn't feel connected to it in any way, I know I'm getting all Marie Kondo about it. I just have this urge to kind of minimize my collection a bit. So I do also have a bunch of plants outside, but I'm not going to be showing you those today. I'll show you those once I bring them in for winter. Yeah, let's just get into it. Starting here in my kitchen, I have my Homalomena Emerald Gem. This is a plant I love. The leaves are just gorgeous. They are gem shaped, so that is why I think it's called the Emerald Gem. But this plant doesn't normally live here. I'm just keeping it here to be in isolation. Is that what it's called? When it's separated from the rest of your plants? Because this plant does have thrips. And it's been here for a few days because I am going to be working on doing a how to manage every kind of pest video. So I have to film taking care of this one, but I just have not gotten around to it. It's not a huge thrip infestation by any means. I've just seen a couple on the leaves and a couple in the soil, but it will be a good video, I feel, a helpful video anyway. So that's why this guy's here. Normally he sits in front of his southern window because he likes a lot of light. Now flipping you around here to this little table. Just ignore all the papers and frames and things. I'm decluttering my house, and these are all papers I have to go through to see if it's important or not. So that's why they're just sitting here for now. First up, here on the ground, I have a Sansevieria plant, just in a wicker waste basket. I think it looks really cute here. Kind of fills in this awkward gap where the plant gets low light, so not a whole lot can live over here in this particular spot. This gets a bit more light, but where the table blocks some of the light from the window, this is about all I feel comfortable keeping right here now, but it's done really well. It actually has a new little plantlet coming in, which is awesome. Here I have a peace lily, which is the ruffly edge kind. I call it the ruffle peace lily, like the chip, you know? This guy I've had for quite some time. It did just get in this huge new leaf, which I'm really excited about, so I think it likes it here. Then here I have my Burrell Marxii, I think is what it's called. I get it wrong every single time, and somebody always corrects me, so thank you for correcting me in advance. It also is really happy here. It's all of a sudden popping out a whole bunch of new growth. It kind of was stagnant for a while, but now that I've moved it, it's doing really, really well. So I'm happy about that. Then here I have my Calathea macgoiana. I actually got rid of my large plant because I just couldn't find a place that I liked where it fit. This smaller plant just works for me. Gosh dang it, I forget what this is called every single time, but it is a Stromath plant. It's the one with the purple undersides. This plant has been so easy, honestly, one of the easiest in my collection. I love it a lot, highly recommend it for those of you who want a Calathea type looking plant, but want to keep it a lot more easy care to start out, you know what I mean? But yeah, this guy's done great. And then here, oh, I need to do some trimming on most of my plants. So be warned, I haven't trimmed my plants in a couple of weeks, so it's time. I have my little Calathea Freddy, which is getting in a bunch of new growth, again, since I moved it here, so I think it's really happy. I mean, I take new growth as happiness, so I don't know. But yeah, there's that setup. Right up here on my kitchen counter, I have my Arrowhead plant. This was one of my first plants that I got from my grandma, so you've seen it in every single plant collection tour. It's actually unraveling a new leaf back there, quite a big one, which I'm really happy about. Then just down here, I have just a thing of water with some Monstera and then some Emerald Gem Philodendron propagating. Look at those roots. I need to get it repotted, but I just haven't found where I want them to go yet. So for now, they're just going to stay here. They're happy, so why not just leave them? Here I have my Maria Arrowhead, I think this is called. This guy's one of my harder arrowhead plants. I don't know why. I really struggle with this one. So it hasn't grown too much. I've gotten a little bit of growth off of it, nothing too major. Then here I have Arrowhead Variegata, which has done well. This leaf is getting old and dying off. That does happen with these, so don't worry if that happens to you. Your plant is probably still fine as long as it's just one leaf here and there. The new growth is coming in extremely variegated and beautiful. So yeah, this is one of my all-time favorites. And then back here I have my Syngonium aurideum. It's liking this cooler weather outside, I believe, because all of these have just been popping out new growth. Here I have my white butterfly arrowhead. Needs some trimming, like I said. I haven't gotten around to that, but here in the next few days, definitely. Here I have my ZZ Raven, which I recently repotted in my last video, I think it'll be. Yeah, my last video. Here I have my Calathea, Velvet Touch Calathea. The leaves are so soft. I forgot to water it for like a week and it did develop some brown tips, so it has seen better days, but it's an easy one. It'll be fine. I think it'll pop back from this. It's nothing too crazy. And I almost forgot to mention, but down here I have my Lemon Lime Maranta, which, as you guys know, is one of my favorite Marantas. It's such an easy and beautiful one, and it is loving this spot. This guy grows pretty quickly anyway, but I mean, you can see just right here in this frame, there are 4 points of new growth, which I'm really, really happy about. So yeah, he's definitely happy under here. All right, so up here on the wall, I have some Cebu Blue Pothos. I have Cebu Blue Pothos propagation, which has just taken off. I mean, you can see it's growing all the way, like, it is going crazy. Really happy here. I just keep this full of water and it's done really well, and I don't plan to pot it because I love the way it looks here. I'll just keep adding more and more water to it. Here I have a whole assortment of arrowhead plants, Variegata cuttings. I have some confetti arrowhead here. I also have some pink illusion arrowhead. A little bit of everything in here, and again, they are growing in water. I have no plans to pot them up because I love the way they look and they're really happy, so why not leave them here? Over here I have a Cissus rotundifolia growing, propagating in water in a little light bulb propagation station my sister made in one of her videos. And then here I have a Monstera Athensonii. Here I have my, I believe this is called a Drunkard's Dream. It's a really cool plant, very low maintenance. It's a very, very easy low maintenance succulent, and it does fine in medium light as opposed to high direct light. So that's why this guy's here. Here on the floor I have my Medallion Coliseo, which hasn't had a ton of new growth. It did get in this tiny leaf here, and a new one is unraveling here, so that's pretty awesome. Although this leaf did die. I don't know what happened, but I think it's when I forgot to water them for a week that went down, but I'm happy because it's getting new growth, so I'll take that as a good sign. So now here on this west facing window, I have this Hoya lacunosa hanging here. It has quite a few blooms. It's gotten so many blooms that have now died off, and it just keeps on going, so I'm really happy about that. I'm excited for these babies to open up. A lot of people tell me that they smell like vanilla when they open, but the last time mine bloomed, I couldn't smell anything, so I don't know. Maybe my plant's just a little bit weird, but it's a really easy Hoya if you are in the market. Definitely recommend this guy. I have my Hoya publicalis, which is actually the easiest Hoya in my collection. Mine hasn't bloomed, but as you can see, I'm sure you can go back and compare it. In my last video, it has really just taken off. So the way this one grows is it gets like really long vines, and then they gradually fill in with leaves. Like you can see right there, there's some new leaves growing. So yeah, they just gradually fill in, and they literally grow wherever they can. They kind of tangled together like this. I think it looks really cool, and I love this one. I would never ever get rid of this plant. Up here I have my Marble Queen Pothos, which I really love. It's happy here. That new leaf is coming in kind of weird, but it does really like this spot. I'm excited for it to start to hang. It'll look really nice. Here I have my Hoya obovata, which has done really well. This was one of the first Hoyas I ever had in my collection, and again, it's a really easy one. It is a little bit more of a slow grower, but this one has grown substantially since beginning of summer. And yeah, I do definitely need to repot this one, but I have been kind of putting it off because I haven't found a hanging planter that I like. particularly like yet. So that's in the works, but I just have to find one I like. Just on the ground here, I have my money tree, which is another really awesome beginner plant. So yeah, I really, really like this one. And then just to the side of that, I have my large bird of paradise, which I absolutely love. This is the newest leaf. It just unraveled. It's super pretty and huge. Geez, the lighting is terrible against this window, but here I have my biggest Monstera plant. The largest leaf is over there. Can't really grab it because the light sucks if I try to show you. I already tried. And it fills in the space really well, and it's really enjoying this western light. It's one of my favorite plants. Look at this huge leaf. Just on the TV stand next to that giant Monstera, I have a Manjula Pothos. Again, it's doing really well. It likes this slightly lower light level that I get from the west window, but it likes it. And then just moving you down, I have my Hoya carnosa compacta down here, just dangling. Quick note, the way I know when this is ready to be watered is the leaves will get wrinkly like this, and I just wait until majority of the plant looks like this before watering, because this is one that I feel people really struggle with over watering because, yeah, I don't know, it's really susceptible to root rot. So just wait until most of your plant is wrinkled and you will be good. Here on the other side of the TV stand, I have my ZZ plant. This was another one of my first plants. My sister got it for me for Christmas one year, and it has grown quite a bit. It was just teeny tiny, only a couple of stems. That is how it's doing. And just up above that, I have my giant peace lily, which I absolutely love. If you see one of these, highly recommend it for you because it's really easy. Tells you when it's thirsty, it just droops down. And what I do is I keep it in a bucket. Haven't repotted it yet because, again, I haven't found a pot I like, but I keep it in a bucket or like a cache pot. And if it starts to droop, I just fill it up with water and it does its thing. Really easy to care for. So now over here on my table, I have it's a syngonium of some sort, and it starts with an R. Please let me know in the comments if you remember the name because I totally just spaced on it. It's droopy because it's being bottom watered currently. So yeah, it'll pop right back up once it's drank enough water. Over here is another plant being bottom watered that, again, I need to trim. It is my Valentine Aglaonema. So yeah, I just wait till this one droops a lot and then I go ahead and water. I would say that it is prone to root rot, so it's easy to overwater. As long as you're careful about how much you're watering it, then it will be really easy for you to manage. And just over here on this shelf, I have this plant. This is a new stem here. Kind of getting new stems all over the place. It was drying out on the tips, but I put this tiny little humidifier down here, oil diffuser, whatever. I just use it as a humidifier, and now it's doing a lot better. So I have high hopes for this guy. And next to that, I have my Pink Princess Philodendron, which I still have in water. I'm afraid to pot it up, so I'm probably just gonna keep it in water for as long as I possibly can. Here I have a Cissus, oh, what are you? Cissus rhombifolia, I wanna say. You can see it's grown quite a bit of roots. This one is such a quick grower, and it's one that clings to everything. So yeah, it just kind of grows wherever it wants to, grabs onto whatever it can. So I really like it. And here I have my silver stripe philodendron, which isn't doing great, but I do not know why. So I don't know. Just below that little shelf, I have my variegated peace lily. It did bloom, but the flower is now dying, so I need to trim that back soon. But it has a lot of new growth. I'm really a fan of this plant. I love peace lilies though, so maybe I'm biased. Moving you down to the lower shelves of the bookcase here, I have my neon philodendron. It's growing quite a bit since I repotted it in my last video, and I really like it. It pops against this black bookcase, which I really like. And down here I just have a little green spider plant, which is just happy as ever. And over to the side here, I have a Monstera Peru, which is getting huge. It's outgrown its moss pole, so I need to get it a new one. New growth is developing to be quite a bit bigger than the older growth. There's a new leaf there, that's exciting. I really love how deep green these leaves are, and the texture is really unique. Oh yeah, I'm a sucker for textured plants. Back over here next to my couch, I have my first Monstera plant ever. This is a new leaf. I recently moved it over here. I think it likes it. Yeah, it's coming in really full and I love the way it looks here. And then up here, I just have a ZZ Raven propagating. Well, a couple ZZ Ravens propagating. So yeah, the ZZ Raven is really cool to watch grow because it comes in like green like this and then it turns black over time, which is amazing. So unique. And up here I have a golden pothos, which I propagated like last year. It was just a few leaves and it's done really well. Here I have a Fittonia. Love this guy, super low maintenance, just gotta keep him watered. And I just keep him in a little dish. This isn't the dish I normally use. I'm cleaning the dish he's usually in, so I just keep it full of water and it grabs what it needs, keeps it really happy and full looking. And then up here, I have a Scindapsus pictus. I think this is the Exotica. Could be wrong. Clinging over there, really cool. These leaves are really big. So I'm happy about it. Here I have a, what are you called? Silver Mist Calathea. Could be wrong about that, I don't know. Oh, that's a peace lily actually, I don't know what this one is called, but it kind of has the silver stripe there. I like it a lot, just propagating in water. I need to get it repotted, but I'm in no big hurry. And down there, I just have some lemon lime philodendron propagating again in water. Here is my, what are you? Arrowhead confetti plant. You can see like the pink spots everywhere. Another one of my favorite arrowheads. It's really easy and really unique, but it is kind of hard to come by. Oh, look at this new leaf. Cissus rhombifolia. It normally hangs on this south window, but haven't bottom watering right now. Here next to the south window, I have my Ficus Altissima. Since I moved it next to this window, it is getting a lot of new growth. You can see there's quite a few smaller, newer leaves here. So I'm really happy about that. Up here against the door, I have my Goldfish Plant, which is just growing crazy and I really love it. Let's see if I can show you it a bit better. All right, so just back from that south window, I have my Ficus Audrey, which I love. This is one I'm actually considering getting rid of. I'm just not entirely sure yet. It's just kind of an awkward fitting plant and I don't have anywhere that like I super love the way it looks. So yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet because I do really love it, but I don't know, we'll see what happens with that. And then down here I have a Monstera plant, which I got from someone I went to high school with, and it's just unraveled a new leaf, which I'm really happy about. I just forgot the name of this ficus, but I'm sure one of you guys can tell me. Totally spaced, I usually know it. But it has been happy, it really likes this south window. And back there, I have another ficus. This one is like the strawberry and cream one, I think. These two rubber tree plants here are ones that, again, I need to find a good spot for them. So for now, they're just hanging out here until I figure something out. If I'm not able to find a good spot, then I'm gonna go ahead and move them. Although I may put one of these in the baby room on like a tall shelf and give it a grow light because I like the way they look. They have a really good shape, but they need a lot of light, so I'd have to put a grow light in. I don't know, let me know what you think of that. And back here, I have my Schefflera plant, which is another one I'm considering getting rid of. So I guess basically this whole section is just kind of where I'm keeping my plants I'm not too sure of because they're kind of hard to put in a good spot. I'd be sad to say goodbye to this guy though because I love it so much. It's really beautiful. It just drops leaves a lot, and once my baby gets moving, I'd be afraid he'd pick them up and put them in his mouth. I don't know. So, but I really love it, so I don't want to. This one also needs watered, which is why the top leaves are a little bit shrivelly looking. But I haven't decided because it is such a beautiful Schefflera, you know? It's huge. Here I have my Monstera Adansonii. It's growing like crazy. You can see the vine is kind of just doing whatever it wants to do. I think it's clear over here. So really cool. And there is my Rhaphidophora tetrasperma. It's a Peperomia serpens, I want to say, which is just propagating, just a small little cutting propagating in this like magnetic propagation station my sister made over on her channel. So head there if you want to see how to make this. I have a few more up here I haven't put to use yet, but yeah. All right, so even a little bit farther back from that south window, I have this shelf, which I've rearranged quite a bit. I have a Hoya rubra here. Really likes this spot, and it is next to a Hoya tricolor. So they're pretty happy there. These are two varieties that I find like a little bit higher light. So the ones that are variegated need higher light because the white sections of the leaves can't absorb light. They can't photosynthesize. So they do need a higher level to reach the green sections of the leaves to be able to do that and get their energy. So just a little tip there, if you're struggling with a variegated Hoya or just variegated plant in general, they need slightly higher light than other just green plants. Up here I moved my Monstera Variegata. It's got some new leaves, really cool. And here I have my variegated Peat, or my variegated lipstick plant. It's gotten really bushy since I moved it here. Golden Pothos. I need to water it. It's starting to look a little droopy. I'm gonna do that after this video, I guess. And then here is my Black Pagoda lipstick plant, which you guys know is one of my favorites. I mean, look at that. That is just beautiful. Oh look, back here is a flower. This is what a Black Pagoda lipstick plant flower looks like. A Black Pagoda flower looks like. So not really anything too crazy. They're kind of hard to notice even. They blend in a little bit, but that's what they look like. Just behind that, I have my Syngonium macrophyllum. I believe this baby's called. Really beautiful Syngonium. It likes a little bit higher light than the other Syngonium varieties, so that's why I keep it here pulled back from a south window instead of on the west window with the others. It is a little bit more of a slow grower as well. And then I also keep my pink Syngonium here. It does like a little bit higher light, I have found, than the other varieties, although you do need to be careful because this one can bleach really, really easily and quickly if it gets too much light. So if you're thinking of moving it to somewhere with higher light, then just gradually move it closer and closer. And then if you notice lightening of the leaves, then go ahead and move it back a little bit. So yeah, but it likes it here. Look, there's a new leaf. Just behind that is a neon pothos. I do like to give this one a little bit of brighter light because then the new growth comes in super, super neon. You can see the difference there. It does kind of darken a bit over time, but it still stays a little bit brighter with higher light than if it's in a little bit lower light. So just something to keep in mind. This one I actually watered, so it's looking a little droopy, but it'll perk up once the roots soak it up. So yeah, it's just my burgundy rubber tree. He's just a small little guy, but I like it. And on this second shelf, I have my Peperomia Rana Verde, which is a very easy peperomia to care for. I like it a lot because the leaves have a unique texture. I need to wash these leaves. I hung a plant above this while I was bottom watering, and the dust from drilling the hole in the ceiling fell on this guy. So it's not spider mites, it's just dust from my ceiling. I need to give it a good wipe down. In fact, most of my plants need cleaned, so sorry about that. Here is a Bonnie spider plant baby you saw me propagate not too long ago. The roots have grown so quickly. Here is my Peperomia Hope. It's a pretty quick growing peperomia. There I have some more lemon lime cuttings. There is my Philodendron Brantianum, which is growing up there. Soon it's gonna pop out of the top shelf, which would be pretty cool. Here's my Monstera Celtipicana. Something to note about this plant is it is quite a bit thirstier than other Monstera plants. Monstera are already kind of thirsty plants to begin with, but this one likes quite a bit more water than my other Monsteras. So I don't think I was watering it enough the first few months I had it, but now that I'm watering it more, it is growing so much faster. So if your plant is growing slowly, then recommend trying to give this plant a bit more water. Back here is my Joya Australis. Kind of a slower growing Hoya. Maybe it's something I'm doing. If you have found this one to be a fast grower in your collection, let me know what you do. But it is growing. There's some new leaves up there. My variegated Peperomia obtusifolia. It's a really cool one. My Hoya Crinkle 8 back here. I got this one from REM Botanicals. I actually unboxed it on my channel. Isn't doing so hot, I don't know. Is this a harder, I have found it to be a harder variety of Hoya, but let me know your thoughts on it because all my other Hoyas are doing really well. This one is just really struggling, so I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Down here on this next shelf in the tea tin, I have a string of buttons. Back there is a Euphorbia Ryan got me, still alive and doing well. Here is my Mother Pilea plant. I love the stem, it's getting really bark-like. I really like when it looks like that, when they start to look like that. And then here are just some babies I've propagated off of that mother plant. This one's kind of starting to get pretty big, so I may repot it soon. There is my Norfolk Island pine. A lot of people ask about this one, about how it's doing, and it is still doing well. Here is a Philodendron pedatum. It's getting new growth here. Unique texture once again, especially once it starts to grow a bit more full. There is a croton. I forget what kind of croton this is. Ryan actually got me this one for my birthday. And then back here I have my Philodendron burrow marks. So, which you saw in my hydrogen peroxide video. Then here on the floor I have another Monstera. Look at how cute and little this leaf is, and it still has a split. I think that's so cool. Usually they don't get them until they get bigger, but I'm not mad about it. That's really cute. So, just sits here on the floor. Oh look, a new leaf. Then here I have some Adansonii propagating, a Peperomia pink, I forget what it's called. It's the one that is pink, variegated. It's doing really well and I like it a lot. And then on the other side of this shelf here, I have my red emerald philodendron, which is very happy here. I don't know why I didn't put it here to begin with, but it really, really likes it. Over here in this corner is my silver mist peace lily. I think this actually may be my favorite peace lily because it has grown so much faster than my other varieties, and the coloring on the leaves are really unique from any other plant I have in my collection. So yeah, I love that one. And then here I have my jade Scindapsus, super cool plant. Moving you upward is a Philodendron Brazil. Actually thinking about chopping it about here so that it'll grow bushier. I can do a video on how to get them to grow bushier if you'd like. But yeah. And then there I have my Bonnie spider plant, which has quite a few babies. It actually needs watered, so I'm going to do that after I film this. But I love it. Haven't found a pot I like it in, so it's gonna stay here for now till I find something. I have such a hard time committing to especially hanging planters for some reason. I'm very picky about them. Here is a Hoya Wayettii, which I think in the beginning I was giving it too much light because the tips were drying out. Now that I moved it here, it's getting quite a bit new growth, so I think this is a sweet spot for it for sure. Hanging off the bed here is my Philodendron micans, and it really likes this spot. There's new growth on basically every stem. It really likes this spot. I have it between a south and an east window, and it's done well, and I just keep it very well watered. But it has new growth on pretty much every stem, which I'm very happy about because it was kind of growing slowly for me before now. Here I have my Hoya Chelsea, which desperately needs to be trimmed and cleaned. Next to my window here, I have a Rhipsalis. It's a type of Rhipsalis. It's a Rhipsalis Lepesium cruciform, I think. And over here, I have more Adansonii propagating in water, just in this jar here, and a massive Cebu Blue hanging from the ceiling. I love it. It's starting to get pretty long. And then here is a golden pothos, super easy of course. And this donkey's tail hanging in front of this south window is the last plant in my house at the moment. So those are all the plants I currently have inside of my house right now. It will definitely change come winter time. So let me know what you think of my current plant collection. And again, if you have any questions about where some of the plants I had in my previous videos have gone, leave them down below and I'll let you know where it went. Yeah, that is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one.